Care Center, and Ozarks Electric Cooperative. Because of your partnership, children right here at home will be better today and healthier tomorrow. And to our amazing listeners, your donations make miracles happen. Thank you for bringing hope, healing, and smiles to so many lives. This wouldn't be possible without you. Together, we're making a difference. Thank you.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, periods of sunshine early. We'll see some clouds building in north. Our high temperatures today, mid to upper 60s. A few isolated showers later on tonight. Overnight low, upper 30s north, mid 40s south. Sunshine, low to mid 60s on Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy, expanding horizons.
Here's Jones on a keeper. Out over the 40 to midfield. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
3-2 pitch. He struck him out. Got him looking. Hagen Smith has tied the school record with 17 strikeouts, but he's done it in 6 dominating innings. Peyton Holt in center field makes the catch. Runners don't try to score. Zonay's coming home. He throws to third. Sprague Lodge fires to the plate. They got him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Morning. What a day. It's gorgeous. It's good to be with everybody, and welcome into halftime. You're listening to ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. This is Phil Elson, my partner Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing. Good morning, guys. And a run rule victory yesterday against Grambling for the baseball team. 7th win in 8 games. Game day on the Hill. About as important of a game as you could have for a team that's on the bubble, playing another team that's on the bubble in Texas. And a late one at that. It's going to be a big day on a Wednesday, and we'll get a chance to watch the Hogs later tonight, Matt. How you doing?
What do you mean game day on the Hill?
Don't we have one tonight?
Oh, I thought you meant like the ESPN game day was up there on the Hill. I'm a little slow. Yeah. Game day against Texas. I thought you meant like the college game day was up there. Like they were.
No.
They were. I was like, why are they at this game? Yeah.
Guess they would have had their chance to cover an Arkansas game for game day for the Kentucky game. Of course, that was a conversation for about a month ago. No, it is game day on the Hill. 8 o'clock tip against Texas. The only team that you'll play twice in the SEC in men's basketball this year, and a chance to sweep. I'm not going to go with the arch rival thing here. Just a chance to sweep a team that I think you may need to sweep in order to make the tournament. You're going to have to do it without Adu Thero. It was obviously one of the major points of conversation yesterday on the show. The word came out last night. He will not play. I saw Carter Knox is also on the injury report, though he's listed as probable, so I don't think you have to worry about that. Yeah. Did you hear Ed McMahon in the background give the moan? Yeah, it's all you need is just one more injury to worry about for basketball, right? This is the last thing he needed to hear was another injury. Yeah, don't worry. Your Mavs are about to trade. They're about to trade Anthony Davis for
Derek Lively.
For a plate of butter.
Who's the other? Yeah, I just got traded for a washing machine. I'm at the top of my game. Daniel Gafford, he's still got a year of eligibility. Maybe we can finagle the NIL college rule. Be like, look, he still has a year left. He can play college ball. Let's go get Daniel. Maybe Bobby Portis. He's on the shelf right now. Bobby Portis come back for a couple games.
Oh, he's on a different kind of a shelf than you are. Although, I mean, if you're suspended, if you have dual eligibility,
dual citizenship,
that's right. That's right. Why not? You can go somewhere else and play. I just do like that. The first thing that I brought up today makes C Unit want to barf. If the first thing that we hear now, the first thing we heard was me, then you, and then Unit just with the groan because Carter Knox is on the injury report. But don't worry, it's probable. Everybody is dealing with bumps and bruises and getting banged up right now. Everybody is probable at the moment. It's just they chose to put him on the report. Don't worry. He'll play. I bet you Carter Knox plays the second most minutes of the entire game of anybody for this Arkansas team, as long as he's able to stay out of foul trouble, which he seems to do better than Billy Richmond.
Nelly, Wagner, and Knox. I'm with you. Those are our three guys that are going to play 36-plus minutes as long as they – and then you got Big Z, you got 9. Those guys that kind of get the other minutes. But I think those three guys, Phils, have to stay out of foul trouble.
Oh, they better. Everybody better stay out of foul trouble. How many guys you got ready to go? It's 7 of them. And one of them always gets in foul trouble with Richmond. Adu has found his Adu. I keep wanting to call him Adu. And when you got a guy whose first name is Adu and the last name is Adu, you have to overpronounce these names. Jonas Adu has also had issues getting into trouble, but he only played 4 minutes against Texas. You know he's going to be a big aspect to They can win this game. They can win this game. But it's going to take – you don't have to have Jonas Adu from last year at Tennessee, but you've got to have – more than just a shadow of that. You got to have Nelly Davis doing basically what he did against Texas, scoring from the outside, the inside, the foul line, and defending very well. Because everybody's got to pick up a little bit of slack with the guy who is your most consistent player on the court. And, Adu was good against Texas, not great. He only played less than 22 minutes. He fouled out of that game too. So, there it is. He wasn't his best in that ball game, Matt. They found a way to win it in the Longhorns building. But both teams got to be pretty desperate for a victory here because both Arkansas and Texas have identical league records. Their net ranking is 1 apart from each other. Arkansas is 40, Texas is 39. So it's not like this is a play-in game, but it has a little bit of a feel of, if the committee's looking at 2 teams at the end of it, and one would be number 68, and the other would be 69. Do you maybe take the last result from those 2 teams if they played each other?
Right now we're on the 11th seed at the SEC tournament, so a loss keeps you there. It actually brings you down. Because you're in a tie with Texas, yeah. So that's kind of where you're looking: 11th seed, 10th seed, 12. I think you want that 12-13 seed. That might be the best game because then you get a 5 seed, a team you could beat. It could be a Tennessee or Missouri that you could go through. So that might be the line that you want to be on. But yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle anyways, because what are you going to have to win? 4 games in 4 days?
I think, depending on if you got I think it's 5.
Days, yeah.
Doesn't that sound, at least it's not the Sun Belt. At least you don't have to win 7 games.
It'd be the first time ever.
And Dan in Mount Ida already has dropped in a Norman Dale, my team is on the court. The thing is, he had 4 guys on the court for that. He only had 4. They'll be able to put 5 out there, but just like Gavin asks, if 3 guys foul out, who are you going to play with? Well, they do have the other 4 or 5 players, I forget how many it is, that are the practice players. And at that point, now you're talking about a resumption of the movie Rudy, but in basketball senses. So
there's
don't
no
foul
Jimmy
out.
Chitwood coming out there?
Jimmy Chitwood was really good, though. He had the corner shot.
I'll make
he was
it,
you knew he was going to make it when he said it, too. Who was Norman Dale going to throw in the court at that point? Dennis Hopper? Not quite. I don't think it would have worked out because he was out of eligibility too. He wasn't a high school student. Baseball looked good. Go ahead. I don't want to cut in.
Nice to see him on his Easy Rider. Come in there and save the day.
I don't know. It didn't end very well for him in that movie.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Here's what we got on halftime for a Wednesday. Hall of Famer fisherman Clay Henry joining us at 12 noon. He was in Arlington, not with me, and his daughter with him. They made a couple. They said I heard them talking about it. They turned it into a big old trip. They did it the right way, not just going to baseball games. So we'll visit with Clay for a couple of hours later. And Grant Hall is coming up shortly, Matt. Today is Grant's 77th birthday.
That's a Luka Doncic. That's a Luka birthday. 7-7, triple-double. Don't mess around. Ice Cube, he's got his West Coast thing. Already Ozempic, lost 12 pounds already. Luka's L.A. Phil, you should relate. Y'all are both L.A. guys.
Yeah, I haven't gone the Ozempic route yet because I didn't. I'll say I got a little bit of the added, probably 7 or 8 pounds. How many added pounds do you think Luka's got on that frame?
0 right now. He's lost 27 pounds since he's been an LA guy. Like it happened. You knew it would, and he's on the diet, man. He's on the way.
Well, it's when you're there's got to be a certain level of embarrassment when the word out of why you got traded is because you're fat. Essentially, that's what it came down to, and we don't think he's ever not going to be fat. So if you go to the land of nip and tuck, which is everywhere now, but I guess we always feel like it originated in Southern California, which it probably didn't. Well, take advantage of that, right? I guess he did.
One of my favorite quotes. This is by 2 different, Hall of Famers: Kobe Bryant from the L.A. Lakers, and then Weston McKennie, who's playing Juventus right now. But he said, "Germany, very, very good doctors in Germany."
Yeah, exactly. What doctor of what do you think he meant in this case?
Of dominating, of excellence.
It's not this. This is not the time of the year that you start hearing about basketball players being in the quote. And this is one of the great overly used slogans in sports. The best shape of his life. You don't hear that about basketball players in February. Like, what was the last basketball player that you ever heard? Because if you're a basketball player in February, you're either about to try to make a push for playoffs in pro basketball, or you're trying to make a push, or you're already in the field of 64 or 68. Nope, you've already played 27 ball games, maybe 60 ball games, depending on if you're a collegiate or a pro. Even the high schoolers, nobody feels their best in late February, unless I guess you're on the needle. But it's the baseball players that you would hear about that right now because it's spring training.
One of the things we talked about, Phil, when you got out of here yesterday was, when's the last time a player in their prime led a team? Because your boy Kawhi Leonard did it with Toronto. He was kind of at the end of his prime. Then he left and went to the Clippers. Was it Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Lou Alcindor? Did he lead his team to the finals and then left the next year? Because you don't see this a lot of times. I think Shaq did that at Orlando. They went to the finals that year, or maybe it was the Eastern Conference final, and then he went to L.A. But Luka, in his prime, led a team to the finals. And then the team trades him. You don't see that in basketball.
So you really don't. If it does happen, it's like you let a free agent walk because he's a little older or whatever. It's not a matter of age for Luka. It's not a matter of not being any good. It's being heavy and the lack of feeling like he respects himself to do anything about it. But I think if you get shaken up by a trade like this, and again, you're a well-paid athlete. There's all sorts of respect that's thrown to you no matter what because of that and how good he is. But if nobody wants to be publicly shamed and called fat, nobody wants that. So I can appreciate doing something about it immediately.
And he's not Zion Williamson or Antoine Walker. He's not Sean Kemp later. He's not that way, but I guess people could kind of start. But you know what Harden did the last 4 years? He's kind of toned it up a little bit. You kind of see the end of the tunnel. With Harden, you kind of see he's like, uh-oh, I better keep it going for a couple years or it won't last as long.
Well, we're all looking as better than we did yesterday, I think. It's because the sun is out. It keeps shining. You still feel like you're headed towards not feel like it is spring. Forget about this winter stuff right now. So it didn't take either of us being traded to feel good about ourselves. It just felt just needed extra daylight. That's all we needed today, and that's what's on the way right now with us. 877-377-6963 is our number for calls and for texts. Got good word yesterday from Gage Wood, not from Gage, from Dave Van Horn about the Arkansas third game starting pitcher, maybe out 3 to 5 weeks, shoulder impingement. So the MRI actually came through clear. So once they're able to rest enough and get him back, maybe 3 to 5 weeks, he'll be back and pitching again. So it does feel like the pitching staff dodged what could have been a major injury, and we saw some really interesting metrics in Kuhio Aloy's at-bats yesterday, something that I'll get to later on in the show. But birthday boy Grant Hall joins halftime in just a moment, so stay with us.
Hasta la vista, baby. This is halftime.
Hogs outscored them by 13 in the second half, 70-58 the final.
I really do think that it was hard for these guys to block out the noise early on in this basketball campaign about, hey, AD's a flop, Thero's garbage, they shouldn't have brought these dudes over from Kentucky, Cal's archaic, and those things now, they seem completely out of touch.
Don't miss Hog Reaction after Arkansas basketball games, brought to you by Sawyer's, Huffington Homes, and the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sacalé, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu. Only at Taco Bell.
Thanks for what?
Every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
As we wrap up the 10th annual Miracles and Magic Mediathon benefiting Arkansas Children's Northwest, we want to send a huge thank you to our incredible sponsors, Crabtree RV, Slotsky's, Heartland Honda, Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center, and Ozarks Electric Cooperative. Because of your partnership, children right here at home will be better today and healthier tomorrow. And to our amazing listeners, your donations make miracles happen. Thank you for bringing hope, healing, and smiles to so many lives. This wouldn't be possible without you. Together, we're making a difference. Thank you.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Maybe
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Grant Hall with us on a Wednesday morning. As we always appreciate your time, Grant, but today's a little different than any of the other days we'd have you. We are lucky we'd have you on your 77th birthday. Happy birthday.
Well, thank you. You had to mention the number, didn't you?
Well, you're the one who told it to me earlier today.
A very lucky number, Grant.
It is.
Red Grange.
There you go. See?
Yeah, we're headed to Marketplace Grill in Springdale to eat with my wife, my son Jason. So timing is perfect.
How long have you been? We had a text in, and I'd forgotten the year. I'm sure you've told us before. When did you start covering the Razorbacks?
1972, I guess. If you don't count a little bit of work for the Traveler in college, which would have been, I don't know, 1968 or something. But that didn't last very long. It's funny, Gerald Jordan was my sports editor. He's had a long and distinguished career, and I see him all the time.
Well, basketball on the Hill tonight, Grant, feels. I mean, so how do you view having a game that you against a team you've already beaten, that's right there with you as far as the metrics are concerned, but you're down your most consistent player in Adu Thero tonight? How do you see this working out?
Yeah, you got 7 bodies, unless they want to go with pretty much untried freshmen if they get in a tight. Calipari told us early in the year that he reminded us that UMass team, which beat Arkansas in the NCAA tournament and had great guards and Traviesis and Padilla and of course Marcus Camby, played 6 players most of that year. So he's done this before. You wonder what the substitution patterns might be. The golf group, the morning golf group around here is afraid that Thero is out for the year. I don't know that. I mean, we've heard everything from hamstring to back to knee. So we'll just see how that goes. But Arkansas, it's funny. Arkansas has beat Texas. I think it's something like 33 of the last 48 times. And at one point, the series was Arkansas was ahead by 2. Now they're ahead by 20. So they've had their way with Texas lately, including this year. But both teams are pretty desperate. I mean, they have exactly the same records, and they both don't need to lose to the other probably right now.
No, it's a big game. You bring up Marcus Camby at UMass, and I think Anthony Davis at Kentucky, and it was some Coach Cal bigs, even DeMarcus Cousins. Coach Cal's had a lot of them. When we evaluated number 9 from Tennessee that came to Arkansas, did we not see him in that light? How do we miss so bad on him?
I think he's just now getting healthy, Matt. He had foot surgery 4 months ago, and when they were saying he was 80, 85, 90%, he might have been more like 60. And I thought he played well in the last ball game. And
his last 3 games have been his best 3. He's looked a little more agile and springy. I would agree with you there.
Yeah, and Calipari said Monday night. I mean, you might see him and Avisi down there. I think you're going to see even more of Richmond and Carter Knox, and of course you got Nelly Davis, you got Wagner, and that's pretty much it, except for Brazil, who hasn't played that much. So, I mean, they've all got to play well, and there's going to be no lack of emotion in the building. It should be a great crowd. He's begging the crowd to come back out tonight.
Does it matter if 3's out for the year, though? I mean, I know this game matters, but if 3's out, this team can they still make the tournament?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, if Arkansas can win tonight, then they might only need.
I think 7 gets you in.
A couple more. Yeah, I think so. But of course, you'd like to win as many as you can and kind of be on a roll in whatever postseason you're going to get. So, That's a tough one, Matt. I don't know, and I hope he's not out for the season, but I think they're anything for the eventuality.
You got to beg for fans to show up tonight, or you actually think you'll get a packed house? Because it seemed that the packed house and the 90 Final Four team returning was it's not the reason that they played so well and beat Missouri, but it certainly didn't hurt.
I think we
those guys sat up there near us, and I got to talk to a lot of them during the game. Clyde Fletcher was up there as if he were playing the game. I mean, Boogie Flam told me afterwards that those guys had great pep talks. Of course, Nolan gave a great one too. Todd Day was up there with a little girl, and it was really cool to see them as if they were still in the game playing, you know. And it was high time they came back. And by the way, you know, Calipari, he talks to Hunter Yurachek and believes they're going to do more honoring of players in the future, not necessarily retiring numbers, but you know, just putting their jerseys up there, things like that. And it was poignant because Oliver Miller has got serious stomach cancer, and I saw the photos, you know, and it was too bad he couldn't be there to take that all in, you know. And of course, I think Mayberry was coaching a high school tournament game. But most of the rest of them were there. They actually, 3 players from that team had passed away during the 35 years.
You know, I think Corliss Williamson, Sidney Moncrief, Todd Day, Grant, I think those 3, like if you're doing an all-time Razorback starting 5, I think you have to have those 3 on there. Who else you got?
Well, I think that if you're talking about banners and things, I think you would for sure see Ron Brewer and Marvin Delp. I think you would see you know, Mayberry and Day, and
Joe
and
Johnson.
Miller, and then, yeah, I mean, you know,
I know he's only there a year and a half.
Yeah, a year and a half. And guys, you know, do you give the same regard to guys who are here 1 year or 2 years? But that's a question for all of them. But yeah,
Grant, we got a good look at the Alloy brothers over these last, I guess, near 3 weeks on the baseball team. I'm having a sense that one of the reasons Vahiva's playing so well is that his brother's there with him. Now, I don't know if they could admit to that or even figure it out, but I just see somebody that is a lot more comfortable. I think having somebody that is blood with him helps, but I also think it helps for Kahio as well. It's not that these 2 guys will be carrying the team, but, man, they can go a long way.
I think they're having a healthy competition with each other that they're enjoying. You know, yesterday, Kahio hit the ball 4 times, and the softest hit was 106 miles per hour or something like that. I heard you and Bubba talking about it a little bit later. The ball just, I mean, shoots off his bat. And, of course, we saw his brother last year all year. It was good to see him get the ball around a little bit yesterday. I know that the opposition wasn't the same, but see some guys get going, Pepe, you know, namely, and it was, I guess, it was good news too about the situation with Gage Wood, the impingement, which is 3 to 5 weeks rather than maybe out for the year. So that was good also.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was we got the combine coming up, Grant, and when we got 5 Razorbacks going, and I don't think they're really going to hurt themselves. I think they'll help themselves. But when you look at Jaquindon Jackson, Andrew Armstrong, and Landon Jackson, I think all 3 of those guys could go in the top 100 picks. Am I missing something? You think anybody else could go in the top 100?
Well, Landon Jackson especially, and of course the receivers, Armstrong and Tesla. I mean, I think this is big for them because they.
As long as Armstrong runs like better than like a 4.62 electronic, you know, like there's just a thing you got to be a little bit under. What did Fitzgerald run, like a 4.6? As long as it's like a 4.62 better electronic, because there's a lot of people that think he might run like a 4.8.
Those guys both have great pass catching ability. You know, you just never know. Sometimes guys can go beyond the metrics. And by the way, y'all have probably already talked about this, Matt, with Jason Peters, but. You played with him 3 years, and I think I was looking at the record was something like 25-14 and 0-1, 2-3. and then you were 5-6 without him the next year.
That's right. That's right. We lost a
And
lot of players. Yeah.
And the guy was, I guess he was recruited as a defensive lineman, and they had him at tight end, and of course he found great success in the NFL. But what was he like to play with? What was so good about him?
Well, Peters was just better than everybody. Like you had Sean Andrews, who was the best offensive lineman that I've been around, especially up there on the hill. And then when Jason was just natural, so me and Jason would go play pickup ball in the hyper. And one of the first times we're playing, he points up to the rim like, throw me a oop on the break, and I was like, bro, I can't throw you an oop. You're 300 pounds, And he looked at me like, quit tripping, And so next time down, it wasn't 2-3 times down. I threw him when I thought I threw it too high. It was at the square, and that dude jumps up and dunks it and shakes the hole. And I was like, oh, you're the best athlete out here. Like he had like he could do an Akeem Olajuwon dream shake. Like the way, that's why when you talk about athletes, it's like play all the sports you can, because to be an offensive lineman, your footwork has to be impeccable, especially to be a left tackle. And that's what he had even at that stage. His footwork, the way he was so agile. And then you put him and Sean Grant on the same side as far as your right tackle and your tight end, we'll tell you where we're running the ball, and we'll still get 3 yards.
It's like Lance Allworth when he played at Arkansas. If anything, as good as he was, as great as he was probably underutilized. Frank later sort of questioned himself. Maybe he should have played him at quarterback. And, of course, he became an all-world receiver in the NFL for years. We probably didn't know how good Jason Peters was, as people watching him when he was here.
Grant, do you have a favorite athlete that you've covered at Arkansas?
Yeah, it's Allworth, because I was a kid then, and I actually got to know him and meet him a little bit. In fact, his wife Betty, who later remarried Jim Guy Tucker, who just died this last week. But I'd go see them. We ate at these people's house up the street. I'd go see him. I was like a hero horse. I was like 8 years old, And then it was Sydney in basketball, and probably I would say Kevin McReynolds in baseball, and all three of those just had, in addition to being great natural athletes, obviously the work ethic was pretty good too.
Yeah, you never lose that. You never, your boyhood idol, no matter how old you get, and I feel the same way in my late 40s. Even if I talk about Jeff King on this show,
Madre
like I
Hill
did the other
That's,
day,
yeah.
You never lose that. The way you viewed that person at 8 or 10 or 12, I think you view them the same way when I do, and I'm 48.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I can remember chapter and verse of games 40, 50, 60 years ago. And I can't necessarily remember who was the leading scorer last week. I just think it's more indelible. It makes more of an impression on you when you're young and growing up.
Well, Grant, I appreciate you coming on the birthday. I hope it's I know it will be a great birthday. You've already got a great meal planned out, and basketball later tonight to watch. Hopefully the Hogs give you a win as a present.
Yeah, what better thing than to watch the Texas-Arkansas rivalry? I think pick right back up on it. It's not football, but it's basketball, and it's plenty to say grace over.
Grant, appreciate you. We'll talk next week. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. See you guys.
Grant Hall, birthday boy, with us here on Halftime today. He shares a birthday with Michael Bolton. He's 5 years older than Michael Bolton.
Why should I change my name when that no talent? I went and got famous.
He's actually pretty talented. That's a really good voice. Johnny Cash would be 93 alive if he was alive today, and Marshall Falk has a birthday today.
You can just call me Mike.
877-377-6963 if you want to call us Mike, Phil, or Matt, or Christian. And don't forget about Joe's Grill and Cantina, already chipping away at 2025 with Joe's Chips and Salsa. They make it daily, house-made salsa made daily with fresh veggies, even carrots, and try their sizzling fajita skillets and crunchy tacos on Tuesday. Wednesdays are Nacho Average Wednesday. You'll get $1 off all nachos, including the new 3-cheese carnita nachos, and $1 off all beers, draft or bottles. Dine in only for the specials at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Great place to watch the game tonight. Full bar And you'll find them at 3400 South 74th across from Harps, joesfortsmith.com. Also to put an order in there. We'll break. We'll come back. More halftime in just a moment.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
This is halftime.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
For decades, the Rebel Crawfish has been a tackle box staple. But now, get ready for the next generation. Introducing the all-new Rebel Matte series of Rebel Crawfish. 4 all-new Ultra Matte colors that eliminate glare and enhance realism, mimicking a natural crawfish like never before. The same iconic shape and swimming action, but now with a stunning matte finish. Upgrade to the all-new matte series of Rebel Crawfish today at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Dick's Sporting Goods, and local tackle shops everywhere. Rebel. Catch fish anywhere.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. What makes you unique from other stores in the area?
I try to build a great relationship with all of my customers. I can do just anything from cars to food trucks to signs, banners. I do a lot of custom this and that. I'll say 100% of anybody come in here, they leave out happy. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
The Great American Conference Basketball Championships are coming to Fort Smith, March 6th through the 9th at Fort Smith Southside High School. See the best men's and women's teams in the GAC. Battle it out for an automatic bid into the NCAA Division II tournament. Get your tickets and more information for the Great American Conference Tournament at greatamericanconference.com. It's the GAC Basketball Championships, March 6th through the 9th in Fort Smith at Southside High School.
It's time to start the year strong at Heartland Honda Power Sports and Marine. Don't miss our first huge sale in 2025, featuring unbeatable discounts and exclusive incentives on many of your favorite Honda rides, like Honda Ranchers, Honda Pioneers, and Honda Goldwing, plus so much more. Whether you're tackling trails or cruising in style, we've got the perfect ride for you. Visit Heartland Honda in Springdale today and make 2025 your best year yet. Heartland Honda, work hard, play hard. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear a helmet, eye protection, close side nets and doors, and always wear seatbelts. Honda ATVs side-by-sides are 16 years and older.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
long ago. Bruce and Paris to Bulldog. Anywhere around the stars, but you hit the moon. And monkey nose, bringing back so long ago. Anywhere around the stars, but you hit the moon.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Out of the phones in a moment. We had a football score in an SEC baseball game last night. Kentucky 24, Evansville 3. It's not usually a baseball score that you see. 2 innings, Kentucky scored a touchdown. That's tough to do. And 2 SEC teams suffered losses yesterday. One of them was Mississippi State falling to 21st ranked Troy in Starkville, 6-5, its state's second loss. And Texas A&M lost their second straight game. The number 1 team in the nation lost to Texas State 7-3. So, it's early in the season baseball. A&M, though, just lost their third baseman, Gavin Krahovic, for the year to a shoulder injury.
Who's the defending champs, Phil?
Tennessee.
Do you think because I'd asked Bill this too. I think he said South Carolina was the last team to repeat. How hard is it? You've seen the Chiefs do it. You see UConn basketball do it. How hard is it in baseball? I mean, obviously it's hard, Phil, but do you think Tennessee could repeat as champs?
They could. Yes, they could. They've been able to replace a lot of the bats that they lost last year. I just wonder if they'll be able to keep SEC teams from scoring on them as much as we've seen in previous years. But they definitely could. They'd be nearly as good as they were last year.
Because it's going around. I mean, I think everybody thinks the Celtics are going to win the NBA championship.
It is.
UConn
You're right.
in basketball, South Carolina in basket. You kind of start looking around. They start building these groups where they're not just winning one. And it does, but they're kind of winning 2 or 3, giving themselves a chance to almost be like a mini dynasty.
That's what it feels like. The Dodgers are, maybe on their way to a second in a row as well in baseball. I think you're right. I'd noticed that. It's not that it's dynasties. It's just back-to-back championships are back in vogue.
I think 4 is a dynasty, right? Or 3 and 4. Like you got it kind of has to be at least 5 years to be a dynasty. Like you got to be, if you could win.
I think that's about
5
right.
Years. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You do 3 and 5 years, 4 and 6 years. Three in a row, I think you could say is a dynasty too, because that's really rare to pull something like that off. Let's go to Richard calling us out of Ozark, Missouri. Richard, thanks for the call. What's going on today?
Well, I wanted to comment on my most memorable Arkansas-Texas basketball game.
Okay.
And my question is, to you, what year was it? Now, the coaches were Eddie Sutton and Abe Lemon. The final score was 25-24.
That's the That's the 4 corners offense, huh?
Well, it's
nothing
the game
but an uncontested layup.
It's the game that instituted the shot clock.
Mm-hmm.
And Abe Lemon and his team would hold the ball and pass it around for 4 minutes to 5 minutes. And when they would get the best opportunity, they would score with the highest percentage shot. Then Arkansas would go down and within 15 seconds score. I mean, when Texas got the ball after Arkansas scored, you could go into the kitchen and make you a snack. You could go to the restroom. You could go outside and stretch your legs and come back, and still nothing has happened. But the strategy was to hold the ball to the end of the game for the last shot. And someone on the Texas team got a little too antsy, and when they thought they had the best opportunity, they shot, and Arkansas still had about 10 seconds left in the game. And they went down, and it may have been Sidney Moncrief who made the shot to win the game 25-24. What year was it?
thought the shot clock was adopted in the early to mid 80s. I don't remember the exact year.
I like how you called the segment after Grant Hall and the segment before Clay Henry. So both of those guys might know the answer to that.
Yeah, they would have that, especially because it has to do with Texas.
Mm-hmm.
They'll remember anything that has to do with Texas. What year is this? What year did that happen?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
No, you're actually looking for the answer. I thought you had the answer. If you bring trivia questions in here, you're supposed to have the answer.
I remember the game. I just don't remember the year.
All right. Well, maybe by the end of the show, I'll have the correct answer for you. But I think so. I just typed it. The shot clock was adopted in NCAA basketball in '85. Eddie Sutton's last year at Arkansas was the 84-85 season. I just can't imagine a final score of a game where what was it again? 40-something to 40-something? I can't remember exactly what you said.
It was a Mark Price, King Griffey Jr.
Oh,
25 to 24.
I just can't even.
Texas
I can't even
hold the
picture
ball
this.
for 4 to 5 minutes.
Can't even picture it. I mean, I've seen video of basketball played that way. You know, it kind of reminds me of I've seen it referred to as granny basketball, where they can't. It's just for women playing on a half court and they can't even move when they throw the ball to each other, and they were wearing dresses. But this was like in the 30s.
It's the most boring game you would ever watch. But anyway, I just thought I would just give you a call. I've never called before, so but I remembered this game, and it's amazing that I remember it so well. But yeah, I don't remember the year. So if I remember the year, if I can look it up or something, I'll text you.
Okay. Well, Scott, the tortilla guy, thought it was 1976. So I'm looking up on Hogstats on the 76 schedule, and I see they beat Texas 59-57 and 75-68, or lost 59-57 in Austin, and won 75-68. So it wasn't in 76. Yeah, I guess we got to break out the media guide, because they've got all the final scores of every game in the media guide. So we'll take a look at that in a little bit. I didn't realize. I guess this is why Grant had brought it up. I hadn't realized that this had actually happened. Peters retired. Jason Peters announced his retirement today. We got a text in on the text line about that. Usually, yeah, he is retiring from the NFL, and he's joining the Seahawks front office, Matt. There you go. He's retiring from the NFL. And usually he wouldn't even he would never go to camp with a team. The last few years it would be signed, halfway through the season or something like that. He'll be a veteran mentor in the front office and a first ballot Hall of Famer too.
Big bye. That's so I did a cartoon with the late great Elin Harris, and it was like a third grade children's book, and he was a character. Him and Sean were both Big Bye. That was their name in the book. So yeah, that's what I've always Big Bye, huh? He goes, him and Sean, they were roommates. They were doing something. Sean was standing in front of the mirror. He goes, "Where you going, Big Bye? You getting ready for a date?"
I just like that did you illustrate the book yourself?
No, I had a couple guys help me with that. One of the former coaches, he was really good at that. He drew some cartoons. I still have some of the stuff. It was it was the only class in college, Phil, where I got the highest grade in the class. I mean, I had the highest grade in that. It was an advanced creative writing class. I wrote a children's book for third graders. We did like 3 or 4 episodes, so it was cool.
Matt, I would tell you what, I would probably line up first to buy your comic series. If that's what you get into whenever it happens, if you start putting together a comic series or like a graphic novel, I'd buy that thing, and I'd probably read it more than once.
Both my parents being teachers and just kind of that aspect of learning how to read when you're younger. I had a great teacher, Mrs. Hurst and Miss Dugan, that we read books in 5th and 6th grade, and you kind of get the reading bug, and you look up and you've read 20 books in a semester, and it's something, for third graders and fourth grade, whatever your reading level is, that you can kind of, that's what it was. And we try to be funny sometimes.
Well, you do that here on the show too. 877-377-6963. Stay with us. Back to wrap up the first hour right after this break.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
This is Halftime.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
Are you a gamer, working from home, a family with lots of connected devices? Ozarks Go offers faster speeds, better connections, and more reliability. Leave your frustration and buffering from your current provider and get Ozarks Go. Ozarks Go provides real, affordable broadband internet to homes and businesses in Northwest Arkansas. Ready to get the best? Then go to ozarksgo.net and sign up now. Don't wait any longer. Faster speeds, better connections, and more reliability. Visit ozarksgo.net today.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves for kids up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Hey everyone, Erica Jensen here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Are you happy with your current office technology provider? Did you know that AAA Business Systems has been in business since 1979 and longer than any other provider in Northwest Arkansas? Listen up, I may be a Cajun girl at heart, but I'm a Razorback through and through. Call me today at 479-442-4185 to learn more about the one company that can truly change the way you work, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh-made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Now, for a limited time, employee pricing is back at the #1 fifth wheel dealer in Arkansas, Wheels RV. That's right, employee pricing is back, and you pay what our employees pay on a huge selection of select new and used RVs, plus some 2025 models included. You'll find all your favorite brands, such as Grand Design, Brinkley, Forest River, Vibe, Novo, and Flagstaff. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV sold. Employee pricing exclusively at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV, located 5 miles west of I-49 in Tawnytown. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
And get down like some other DJ in some other town. He's been trying to tell me to hold tight, but I've been waiting this whole night.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
We found the game our caller was referring to. It was in 1979 at the Southwest tournament held in Houston that year, and Arkansas beat Texas 39-38. So they did get out of the 20s, but there's probably the fewest points scored by Arkansas in a win, like in the last 70 years, is just my guess. 39-38, the final score. That's the team that Sidney, Hastings, U.S. Reed on that club, and both teams made 16 field goals. I love that even on Hog Stats, because there was no three-point line then, still has the three-pointer in the box score. Nobody took one. And a 39-38 win. But it must have been just a different philosophy because they had played twice already that year, and Arkansas, you know, they lost a game scoring 63. They won a game scoring 68. So I guess Coach Haskins decided to make it Lemons decided to make it a completely different style of basketball. That'd be difficult to call. He's standing there. He's waiting. He's dribbling. He's waiting. He's waiting and dribbling. It's more like golf, calling a game, which I wouldn't even know how to do something like that.
It'd be like calling a Spanish European soccer game. The Spanish club, they always try to have 500 passes. They feel like that's a number you get to, and it's like they'll just keep passing. You're like, y'all aren't even doing anything. What are we doing?
I think at that point you turn to your color commentators. Well, actually on the air. So where are we going to dinner tonight? What do you want to eat? These just turn it into a personal conversation, because how many times can you say dribble, pass, waiting? You know, like that. Obviously, basketball is not created perfectly. If they did not create the shot clock, you look through some of the history just of the Texas series. You know, in 1946, Arkansas won over Texas, scoring 90 points. You know, there's other games in the 30s and the 20s. You'd win a game not even getting into the 30s, but I guess that must have been fun to watch because basketball grew from there. I don't know. I don't know how much fun that would be to watch. 877-377-6963 to get with us on halftime. Remember, Tucker Construction and Remodeling. It's your source for all things construction, everything from tear it out to build it back. It's Mike Tucker and Stowe Ray Construction. Joining forces, doing everything from demolition, excavation, utilities, tree service, metal buildings, new home construction, and their biggest investment of all now, asbestos abatement. 30 years of experience, a truly local team going to do everything from tear it out to build it back. You can call Mike at 479-650-6453. They serve the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, Branson, and more. Quality workmanship at Tucker Construction and Remodeling. Clay Henry joining halftime. We'll be right back.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. And you've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Join us for the legendary adventure Mystery at the Forest on Saturday, April 26th. Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center invites you to share this magical evening of excitement, mystery, and fun. If you are a business or individual looking to sponsor a heartfelt organization or to buy tickets, please visit our Facebook page for more information or call our office at 479-452-2260.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the Homestead Tax Credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The Homestead Tax Credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a store card. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, periods of sunshine early. We'll see some clouds building in north. Our high temperatures today, mid to upper 60s. A few isolated showers later on tonight. Overnight low, upper 30s north, mid 40s south. Sunshine, low to mid 60s on Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Kopp CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Kopp CDL Academy, expanding horizons.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Sportsman.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'd like to take an opportunity. Woo! To blow the whistle.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that can respect it. Ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they for one racerback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Turn it.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Welcome back in. Halftime continues on a Wednesday on ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson, my partner Matt Jones. Christian Johnston is producing. We'll be bringing on Hall of Fame sports writer Clay Henry in just a moment, looking at today's Arkansas versus Texas basketball game. Matt, Bet Saracen's got the Hogs favored -3. Good to be home for this. You can win a game without a Adu Thiero. I don't think there's any doubt about that. For me, it's a question of how long is he out and how many games can you win without your most consistent player. I think you can win one, but how many do you have to win without him?
Well, it's it doesn't mean that Billy Richmond has to press or try to do something that he's not. But yeah, teams come together all the time. I think we won the first game without Boogie, didn't we? Whenever what was that, Georgia? We had to play 2 days rest or so, and was able to win without Boogie. So they'll come together, and the thing with Billy, it doesn't mean you have to go out there and score 27. Just go out there and make the right basketball play. Just continue to fit in the fold, be athletic at times, because he'll be one of the. He will be. I mean, I thought 3 was our most athletic player, best all-around player. So if you put Billy in that spot, you're not really losing a lot of athletic ability. You're just losing reps. 3's been here. This is his 3rd college basketball season.
Mm-hmm. And the one where he's really started to blossom as a team leader. We've seen him come together. You're right, after the injury to Boogie, and I'm going to guarantee you the winning team scores more than 39 points. Hall of Fame sports writer Clay Henry with us. Of course, you can read all of Clay's columns at Whole Hog Sports, also on Hit That Line, a contributor to Hogs Plus. And Clay, we appreciate you as always on these Wednesdays. How you doing?
I don't think this is Clay.
No, we didn't go to the phones. I don't know why that happened, but we'll bring Charlie on in a moment. Clay was in the middle of something. Go ahead, Clay.
Yeah, the weather is just great, and I'm just so glad that we've got that snow gone. It's finally melted, and we got baseball rolling, basketball's rolling. It's a good time. This is one of my favorite times of year.
You got Arnold Palmer's tournament coming up in the first week of March.
You got it, yeah. It's I watched a little TGL golf last night, and
how does this thing work? Look, I don't watch a lot of golf.
We don't have enough time for that. It's
okay.
Let's just say that it's simulator golf, which is unusual at best. But it was pretty cool last night, and I don't wish this on anybody, but Kisner, he's a good old Texas boy. He shanked one on simulator golf. I mean, it went dead right. I mean, the dreaded shank, and you don't think pro golfers hit shanks, but he did last night. And, I mean, everybody the other pros, they just went crazy laughing. It's like, he shanked it. I don't wish a shank on anybody, but that was kind of fun to see.
Hopefully we'll see some shanked shots by Texas players today. Do you remember this 39-38 game? A caller had brought it up, thought it was a 29-28 score, but we look back, it was Southwest Conference Tournament, 39-38.
Yes, I was covering, and so that was Abe Lemons, was the Texas coach, and he, there was no shot clock. And Eddie Sutton, he loved the four-corner offense when they, you get a lead against a team that had more talent, with 10 minutes to go. He'd put it in the stall and, nothing but layups. And Jimmy Counts told me there was a word for what they called, but it was, that offense. And Abe Lemons just was disgusted. He wanted to get up and down the floor and, that was his way, score more than the other team. And Eddie's was keep the other team from scoring. And but they played a tournament game. I believe it was in the Summit in Houston, the old Summit. And I don't know why I did it, but I counted passes. And Texas passed it 37 times on the opening possession. I mean, they just played catch. And it was 5 minutes in, they held the ball. And that was kind of his way of, giving Eddie the middle finger. And it was game on, and, they held it. Got a little bit of a lead, but, Arkansas stayed right there. And, of course, they called him in the second half. And it came down to the very last play of the game. I think in a tie game, there was a ball that kind of bounced out of the lane. Arkansas's on offense, and it went to the corner. And Alvin Robertson chased it down. And I don't know who's the fastest Razorback football player of all time. Maybe it's Batman Carroll. I don't know. Matt, you were around Lawrence Richardson, Batman, I think. But that's what Alvin looked like going and getting that ball. And it was the play of the game, and then they got a layup and won it at the buzzer. So, yeah, I was at that game, and it was, and Eddie he reveled in it, that Abe held the ball on him, but they beat him.
So you said 27 passes on Texas's first possession?
First possession, yeah. And, of course, Arkansas is just playing, stay in front of your defense. So they let them. If you want, eventually, Texas did something. I don't know if they got a shot or a layup or threw it away, but it was, it was Abe's commentary on, take this, Eddie. And yet they didn't win.
So I think Arkansas had 58 possessions in the last game against Texas. You remember how Muss used to give you the number of passes that the team would make through a game in the post-game press conference? They made 220. Can you imagine Muss saying, we made 1,593 passes in today's game against Texas. 27 times 58. That's right. I'm sure ESPN would love that. I'm sure the viewers would love that. But if you beat Texas, you take it any way
but
it comes.
It was a statement kind of game. And, it was unique. And Arkansas didn't hold it, to start the game. They would get good shots, and they would take care of the ball. And it was, we're going to we're gonna make fewer mistakes than you do. Fundamentally sound. And I think Abe wanted to. Abe eventually lost his job because he showed his butt in Fayetteville at a game. Darrell Walker and Jim Krevax, who was the Texas guard, kind of got into it. And after the game, Eddie said that Darrell punched Krevax. And, of course, he didn't. But, there were, the post-game interview. It was a morning game on Jefferson Pilot. I don't know if some of our listeners will remember.
I remember
Jefferson
JP
Pilot.
Sports. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but morning game in Fayetteville. And, then Abe accused Darrell something. Darrell was mischievous, I would say. He wasn't dirty, but he could get into you. He might pinch you on your side as he's guarding you or something. And so there'd be some interesting, controversial plays in games, and he got a technical now and then. But to say that he took a swing at a player was just not true. And but that's what Abe said, and it was definitely accusations like he should be thrown out of the league, that kind of comment. And the media went from his interview and then Eddie's was a little bit after that, and Arkansas won the game. And Eddie said, well, what we'll do, we've got the game recorded, and that was in the early days of VCR, and we'll just go up and look at it. And he took, 8 to 10 reporters up, and we watched, and there was no punch. There was anything like that. And, Abe was disciplined by the University of Texas, and then pretty soon after that fired. And he just got really nasty after that. He kind of showed his butt. So, yeah, we didn't know we were going to get into all that today, did we?
But it's good history between these two schools that are playing each other tonight for the second time this year. I think sometimes I don't think we forget that there was a basketball rivalry, and it was
absolutely
intense.
There was.
Yeah. We get so lost in the football aspect of it. I get lost in the baseball aspect of it.
So just think of it in these terms. The Sutton history was Henry Iba, Oklahoma State. And Abe Lemons, came out of Oklahoma City. He'd been head coach at Oklahoma City University, and he did not like Iba. He didn't like that style of basketball. The fundamental, don't take shots, hold the ball, run the four corners. And, anything he could do to embarrass an Iba protege, that he was into that. And it all just blew up. And, because Eddie was solid as a rock. He didn't do anything wrong. His players were solid, played the right way, were sportsmen, and, Abe was anything but that.
Let's go to Charlie's giving us a call. And earlier, I think he thought he was
Sorry.
Clay, or maybe we referred to him as Charlie or Clay. I don't know how it happened, but he's on now. Charlie, how are you?
Phil, I can tell you this. The tuna is not smart enough to even have the idea of pulling himself, or he doesn't have the guts either to talk in front of Clay Henry. So let's just
but it's all right.
go ahead and get that out of the way, too.
There was a finger slip there, and somebody put you on the air when you shouldn't have been, but now you are, and it's okay.
Yeah. I appreciate it. But anyways, I was thinking, I was going to tell you guys a little story about Dusty Hannis here in just a second, but I wanted to go to the game tonight, and Clay, I wanted your thoughts on this too, and all you guys, but I know a dude's out, and it sucks. And you're right, Phil, you brought up something before Clay got on here, how long. Well, I think Alyssa brought this up yesterday. If you were going to play anybody right now, and look, I know LSU's been playing better, though. But if you're going to play anybody right now without a Duke Thiero, it would be, I'm not disrespecting Texas, okay? Even though I don't like them. They could come in here tonight. They're going to come in here tonight and probably give us a fight because we've already beat them down there. So it's probably not going to be an easy game, and I don't think it's going to be an easy game with the Thiero out. I just don't. I think it'll probably be a little ugly. But my point to that is if we were going to play anybody in this league right now, it would be them, and it would be South Carolina, who's now. Oh, God, I hope we're not their first win when we go down there on Saturday. But I just hope. I just hope and pray. But
they got them one.
It sucked.
Yeah, they beat Texas.
That's right. They did get them one. God almighty. But, okay.
They got the one that you got tonight.
Yeah, well, I and South Carolina's been close all year. That's the thing. Like, so, and then you got to go down there and play them. So, but yeah, if you go play anybody in this gauntlet of a league, it would be those two teams right now. And I agree with Alyssa Orange on that, was my point. And my question to you, Clay, because a lot of things have been thrown around about TB, right? And I agree with what Alyssa said yesterday, Phil. It does not look like right now he is enjoying the game. And I think there's a lot of this, whether or not, because we've seen some flashes. Was it the Michigan game? He had the saving block. I mean, it's not, to me, and he had a good game that game. To me, I'm not seeing the joy from TB. And so I wanted to throw that out there, and maybe that is more of what's going on and the mental aspect than the physical. And I want to throw something, guys, at you about Dusty Hennis. You guys were talking about ball control. My sophomore year in high school, we're playing the freshman version of Dusty Hennis. Here's the thing. The freshman version of Dusty Hennis could still shoot the ball from 30 feet. Well, we got up probably 10 to 15. We're at their place, and they're not very nice people down there. I'm just kidding. I love them down there. When you're ahead on them, I mean, they say some things. And they were in our conference at the time. They were still in 5A at the time. We got up by 10 or 15, but guess what, Clay? There was no shot clock. And back when I was in high school, and we're playing against Dusty Hennis. He's already got about 15 of their 30, whatever points they had. So we decided to do the exact same thing. I mean, we had some of our best players put their hand in his face, and he was shooting it from 30 feet and just lighting us up. But we were up 10 or 15, and so we decided we're going to just play ball control. We got the win. We beat them both times, actually. But Dusty put it on us all the way up until his junior year. I think they went up to 6A, if I'm not mistaken. But it's just a cool story to tell, because I remember Dusty when he was young, and, man, he would let you know about it, too. Anyways, y'all have a good one.
Thanks, Charlie. We always appreciate the updates on the Tuna athletic stories.
Yeah, when somebody gets on a run like that, putting a hand up doesn't really do any good. You got to keep them from catching the ball. I mean, that's just. I mean, you want to stop Michael Jordan, keep him from catching the ball. I mean, if you want to stop Matt Jones from running the option down the field, you play ball control. You keep the ball away from him. I mean, that's the only way you can do that. And I love Dusty Hennis' story.
Better destroy the shot clock and then just kind of hold on to the ball for a while. 27 passes will get it done for you. 877-377-6963 if you'd like to get with this here on Halftime. Winter might be downtime for some, but it's uptime for savings at WT Equipment in Springdale. For a limited time, you can choose between 0% financing or cashback offers on New Holland Workmaster Utility Series tractors. Plus, enjoy New Holland's 60-month, 2,000-hour premium protection plan that they include at no cost. Winter exclusive deals available now through the end of March. Visit WT Equipment in Springdale today or call 479-442-8284 for details. Clay Henry's with us, and we'll come right back with more Halftime in just a moment.
They were so convincing in their argument, they swung me.
This is Halftime.
Courtside with Fort Smith Public Schools.
Those young men were just phenomenal kids when they came through Kimmons. Both just so intelligent and hardworking. Isaiah Joe used to come in before school and just get 500 shots every day. People don't know how long that's.
So that's true, because I've heard rumors about that.
That's absolutely true.
Coaches take you inside on what's going on in Fort Smith sports. New episode every week on the Hit That Line podcast network and on hitthatline.com.
It's the Salesman Showdown. Harry Robinson, Saddlesaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Saddlesaw. Troy, you and your team love to have fun. Y'all are having a little fun with each other this month. Little competitive juices flowing here at Harry Robinson.
Definitely. I told the team I wanted to see some energy. I wanted to throw something out there to see a little extra hustle from them. So, this is the Salesman Showdown. They are competing to earn your business. First place prize wins a vacation, a gift card. We're giving away some big TVs, some big tool sets, some gift cards. So come down here and see us at Harry Robinson Saddlesaw Ford. You're really going to see the difference in your salesman right here. We want to earn your business.
And you've got aggressive with the pricing to make it happen.
Yes, up to $13,000 off remaining 24 F-150s, up to $10,000 off remaining 24 Expeditions. And the big key thing, Tommy, here, we can't forget this, is we're going to match your down payment up to $1,500.
It's all going on. Harry Robinson Saddle-Saw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Saddle-Saw.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What'd you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. I'm with Ethan at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith. Ethan, what promotion do we have going on?
We're putting on a 5K challenge. If you sign up during the month of February and ride at least 5,000 or more miles by September 27th, you'll win a gift card and a t-shirt. Riders who accumulate at least 5,000 miles and complete 3 check-ins will earn a $75 Wheeler Power Sports gift card. Fuel up, sign up, and hit the road. See our Facebook page for full details.
Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Operator, or could you help me place this call? See, the number on the matchbook is old and faded. She's living in LA with my best old ex-friend Ray. Gosh, she said she knew well and sometimes hated. Isn't that the way these things go? Well, let's forget all that and give me the number if you can find it, so I can call just to tell them I'm fine and to show I overcome the blow. I've learned to take
Find
it
halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hall of Famer Clay Henry with us as we take you up until 2 o'clock, and Ruskin and Zach can have you from there. We got a 7:30 courtside show with Chuck and Zim for an 8 o'clock tip-off, Arkansas versus Texas tonight. And we got Woods on hold on the phone, so let's go to the phones. Woods, how you doing today?
I'm good. Hey, I just saw a post about one of the Portland pitchers that we're going to see in 2 weeks.
Yeah, there was a perfect
threw a
game
perfect
yesterday,
game.
right?
Perfect game. 12 strikeouts, 86 pitches.
In a Tuesday night game against Seattle University, right? So
I'm
I'll
not
assume,
saying either team's good, but
yeah, well, perfect game's a perfect game. I'm not trying to discount that.
he obviously had it on that night. But the other thing that I was going to bring up, this was, and I don't know if you and Bubba have talked about this or if you've talked about this with the coaching staff, but there have been 4 guys who have hit a ball off an aluminum bat at 118 miles an hour this year in college baseball.
Well, I was going to bring up some.
Are we?
No, ask your
go
question.
ahead.
No, ask your question.
Well, at some point, when are we going back to a dead bat era? Because this is dangerous. I wouldn't be standing on the mound with 118 miles an hour coming off the bat. But
it does feel like it's at the point where they may have to do something about the makeup of the bat. You're not going to go back to wood or anything like that, but they've already found ways to deaden the bats a little bit from the lightning bats that we saw like 16, 17 years ago. I'm sure there's something you can do about it, but these are still outliers. It's still an outlier to see something jump off the bat that hard. But I think for certain, 118 is a little bit dangerous. That's for sure.
It is very dangerous if you're 60 feet 6 inches away.
Well, thanks.
But I didn't
and
know
of course
if
for the third base, for the
conversations.
third baseman as well, a third base coach, anybody out there.
Or first baseman, yeah, anybody. But I didn't know if those conversations have been had because it's just happening far too frequently, and it's you saw the Cubs pitcher get hit in the head last week, right?
Yeah, well, and that's a wooden bat too.
Exactly. So,
well, that goes. Wood, thanks for the phone call, man. And it goes along with as far. It's not just pitchers throwing the ball faster than they ever have before. Batters are stronger and bigger, and the technology gets better, and they become better at what they're doing in terms of barreling the ball up and hitting it as hard as you possibly can. And the next thing you know, you get exit velos of, again, they're outliers, but then there were the 4 balls that Cujillo hit yesterday, Clay, which were all over 107 miles an hour was the slowest that it came off his bat. And he's a teenager. He's still growing into his body. So I think at some point that he'll be hitting the ball harder than he does right now.
Yeah, the one he hit in Arlington that we hit 2 that were both incredibly, they were just lasers. Against Kansas State the first night, he hit one in the upper deck that was 440 feet, I think. I think that's the one. And it didn't move. I mean, it was a line drive, and I'm pretty sure that was 114.
Yeah,
Bill, do you
in
remember?
fact, oh, yes, I remember.
Then he hit one.
It sounded, Clay, just like this. I mean, that's the exact.
That's it, yeah.
That's the one.
And, I mean, we're in the I guess we were down the first base line, pretty close to the foul pole. So we had the angle to see, the arc. Well, there was no arc. It was just, and to say that it went 440 feet is a little bit unrealistic because it would have gone 700 feet.
Right.
Because
it would have gone. It never went through the chair.
It never dipped, and it was a 1 second bullet that hit those bleacher seats and like 15 rows up in the second deck, and then he hit one. Was it a little later in the game? Maybe that was the next game against TCU that hit the base of the wall, and it never got higher than the yellow stripe of the wall, and it was 110. So he's done that. His last 6 hits were just lasers, and and let's don't just talk about the bats. Let's talk about the balls, because what happened 15 years ago is they they took the life out of the ball and the life out of the bat to where the games were 1-0. So they went the wrong direction, and maybe they've as they say, there's sometimes too much of a good thing, so they can dial it back a little bit. I don't want to go back to those 1-0 games, Phil. And the coaches don't, the players don't. They don't want to be in those kind of games. And to be real honest, you can get hit in the face with a dead ball or a dead bat. It's just the luck of where that ball is hit.
Yeah, and I felt like they'd found a sweet spot for the equipment a few years ago. I don't know if you got to change anything with the ball because I don't know exactly what you can change with it. They still had to make a tweak about 10 or 11 years ago by lowering the seams, because if you have higher seams, there's more drag and the ball's not going to fly as far.
You got it.
I think they're in a pretty good spot for the baseball. I still feel like these are outliers, but eventually the outlier becomes not the norm, but it becomes something that's not as much of an outlier. Just like, I don't remember guys hitting the ball quite this hard or this fast off the bat. And there's a difference. So I love that the idea that you can actually, and they've been putting it on the video board this year at the few home games. For years, you've known what the velocity is out of the pitcher's hand. Now they're putting exit velocity, so you know how hard it came off the batter's bat. And it used to be you'd say, well, it sounds different coming off his bat. Now you can actually quantify what that sound meant.
More data.
This is what Kahio Aloi's 4 base hits sounded like yesterday. The ball sounds different coming off his bat. Yeah, he's using a metal bat. You can use wood, you can use composite. Metal's going to have more sound to it, but there is something about the way the Kahio Aloi hits, which is different from, I'd say, almost anybody else on the team, maybe even including his brother. He's still new to hitting. He was a pitcher going to BYU. It's only been a little more than a year that he's been focusing on hitting, and I really do like that he boils it down to a very simple philosophy, which he told Bubba Carpenter after yesterday's game.
I'm looking for the first thing in the zone, something I can jump on, something that can hit hard, anywhere. If it's outside, I'll hit it out. I'll hit it to right field. If it's inside, I'll hit it to left.
Doesn't always have to be the most complex thing in the world. That sounds very simple from Kahio.
See ball, hit ball.
And hit it where it's pitched and don't think about much else.
Yeah, it kind of goes to, the late Tommy Brazier told me that, he coached defensive line, but he helped Wilson Matthews coach linebackers in the mid '60s, and he was talking about philosophy and how you play linebacker and how you coach them and what do you do. And Wilson says, "Oh, you missing the point. It is see ball, get ball."
And hit it as hard as you can.
Yeah, and I mean, in other words, a toss pitch, the running back's got it, the linebacker goes and gets the guy. And it's the same thing with baseball. And I don't, all this stuff about I'm waiting for my pitch or I want to be in this zone. Man, the pure hitters, they didn't do that. They just they hit it where it was pitched. Take it back up the middle, take it to right field. The dead pull hitters are easy prey for a good pitcher, I think, in my opinion. And I think his brother has latched onto that where he was a dead pull hitter.
Mm-hmm.
And now, man, he hit one in the right center stands the other night. It was just, it was a thing of beauty. Just outside fastball, just take it to where it's pitched.
Yeah, he took it to the fair pole down the right field line. If you
did
remember
that too.
Vahiba's home run.
Yeah.
He hit it off that big yellow fair pole down the right field line. And I know some people's eyes glaze over when it comes to the metrics and miles per hour, but I think it actually matters more for the hitting because, like you say, pitching is about accuracy, and you can control your accuracy a lot more in upsetting the batter's timing. Velocity is just a part of that. All a hitter can do is to try to hit the ball as hard as he possibly can. If you get one that bloops in or a little bleeder that falls in, nobody's ever trying to hit that. The process is what they're trusting. The thing that they're actually looking for is an exit velocity that's over 100 every time. That's usually going to lead to a base hit. Luck will play into it one way or the other, but exit velocity has more to do with being a better hitter than than pitching velocity does for a fastball for a pitcher.
Well, yeah, and I'm interested in the velocity, coming out of the pitcher's hand, because what I see the good pitchers doing is that they're changing velocity. They can throw the same pitch at a different speed, and the hitter has no way to adjust. They see it, 94, then they see it at 90, the same pitch, and they're hitting it off the end of the bat, and it's not and they've got no exit velocity when it comes off the end of the bat, and that's the ones that get caught. I was disappointed I didn't see all the data I wanted at Globe Life Field, and was surprised I couldn't find pitch count. I couldn't find balls and strikes. I couldn't find, the things that they have at Baum Stadium on that scoreboard, or they're terrific. And it's, that's part of the viewing pleasure of going to, a high-level game where you have all that data. And I assumed that you guys had that in the press box, but it wasn't on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I had TrackMan up during any game, so I knew what the pitch count was because that's on the live box score, but all the other stuff was the same stuff that you guys were seeing too.
Bill, it was very interesting Saturday night in the stands. Of course, one of the things I wanted to point out, they said attendance 17,000 and some change. A lot more people were there than that because they weren't scanning phones. We went through metal detectors, and there must have been 30 or 40 in my group that came through the start of the game. They just waved us through. They didn't check us for tickets. They didn't check us. You have the code on your phone that you bought a ticket. Never even looked at it, and we just walked right in.
That's because you look like a very honest person. They just trusted it that you would never walk in.
The whole group. And I think that part of it was the lines were so long and they had so few. They weren't fully staffed, I guess is my point, like they would be for a Rangers game. The restaurants weren't fully staffed. They didn't have all of them open. But I think they were afraid that there were going to be a lot of people held with those limited scanners. They were just waving us through.
They released the hounds or the hogs.
They did, yeah.
Get over to Fish City Grill. There's just a couple days left to enjoy their February specials. Beer battered haddock tacos coming with slaw, Fresno chili tartar, cilantro, and accompanied with sweet potato fries. Seared cobia for a couple days left. Dirty rice, Cajun butter, roasted zucchini, yellow squash, and is topped with grilled lemon. That's the specials for the remainder of February at Fish City Grill at South Bellevue Road, Rogers. Call 479-636-8833 for curbside pickup and delivery. You can also go online to fishcitygrill.com. The number for halftime is 877-377-6963, and we'll have more right after this break.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
This is halftime.
Now, for a limited time, employee pricing is back at the #1 fifth wheel dealer in Arkansas, Wheels RV. That's right, employee pricing is back, and you pay what our employees pay on a huge selection of select new and used RVs, plus some 2025 models included. You'll find all your favorite brands, such as Grand Design, Brinkley, Forest River, Vibe, Nobo, and Flagstaff. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV sold. Employee pricing exclusively at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV, located 5 miles west of I-49 in Tawnytown. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league. It's sharp and it's electric. How is it sharp? How is it electric? Good questions. Try this on for size. 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime, forcing, playoffs on the line, golf. With 24 of the best players from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams: Atlanta, Boston, Jupiter, LA, New York, and the Bay. This isn't your average.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas. More than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got trophies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu. Only at Taco Bell.
Thanks.
Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You don't care for me. I don't care about that. You got a new fool. I'm the only one a burning desire. Let me stand next to your fire. Let me stand next to your fire. Oh, let me stand, baby. Let me stand. Yeah, baby.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Big win for the Georgia Bulldogs yesterday, defeating third-ranked Florida at Stegman Coliseum. It's kind of interesting because earlier in the year, and Georgia hasn't made the tournament in 10 years, they had beaten Kentucky when they were ranked 6th, but there was no court storm. Yesterday, there wasn't the normal style court storm in Athens. Listen to what it sounded like. You won't see the video of this, but this is a countdown. I think it's the final 10 seconds or so. They put up 90 seconds on the scoreboard clock once the game was over to allow the Florida players to get off the court and into the locker room. And then you see the Georgia athletics director, Josh Brooks, is on the floor in front of the student section, not holding the students back. He's counting down with them, and then bedlam happens. You can see them trampling on the bench and knocking all the chairs to the floor. And I mean, it isn't quite the same, but it also means there's no fine going to Georgia because they were able to allow the visitors to get off the floor. But I wonder why they wouldn't have done a court storm after beating Kentucky, because they were 6th in the nation when they beat them, and they did it for third-ranked Florida instead.
Yeah, so you have to understand the hatred, the Georgia-Florida line type stuff. That's a different rivalry, and And then you also
in Georgia's coach, that Florida's ex-coach.
Yeah, that's where
right.
I was going, Mike White, and he, so there's some of that. I watched that game, and Georgia had a huge lead. They were like up 39-12, 6 minutes in. It was unbelievable how many points they scored in the first 6 or 7 minutes, and Florida came all the way back and got the lead, and then Georgia had a great final minute.
Christian's boy, Blue Kane.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was reading about it. It's like, that's Christian's boy right there. Hit the three that gave him the win. And I'm sure C. Blue Kane was jumping around all over the place in the house with Asher celebrating.
Yeah, it was an entertaining game, to say the least. And I mean, Florida's so good. That helped Arkansas's net ranking. Anytime Georgia does something, because Arkansas beat Georgia, it helped. I don't know if they moved up more than a couple of spots, but it's when you beat somebody and they knock off a top 5 team, it helps you.
How much will the committee take this into place? Because we had Grant Hall earlier on, Clay, and I'm wondering if this is a Florida State situation. So, Boogie, he's been gone for a while, but some people were saying 3 might be out for the rest of the year. So when the committee gets to there and they're like, all right, well, this team might have 5 or 6 wins, but they don't have all their bullets. Could you get shunned that way, like Florida State was left out a few years ago in football? Like they were down to their 3rd string quarterback?
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. But I think that you're talking about 2 different committees and 2 different situations. And you're talking about 68 teams versus, 4 teams. And the significance of what Arkansas does in these last 4 games in the SEC tournament will play into that. If they win games, they're in. I think, that their body of work is going to get them in, and it's going to be if they're not in now, so they've got to win their way in, and it will be their, what these last 4 games, if they win 2 or 3 of these last 4, and then they win a game or 2 in the SEC tournament, that's not going to matter. They're going to take it. The way you're playing is the way you are. And I think that they're going to get him back. Now, I'll say this about tonight's game. Phil, you may not be ready to go here. We don't shoot all of our bullets in the first 20 minutes of the show. But I think his loss is significant because of the way this game is going to be played. Texas is physical. It's going to be a rugged game, and you're subtracting your most physical, rugged guy.
Well, and my thought on Texas is outside of the freshman Trey Johnson, who looks really incredible.
Oh, he is a sweet player.
I don't think that's just not a very dynamic offensive team.
No, they're just going to try to beat you up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like they need to play 4 corners or anything, but if Arkansas is down their leading scorer, which they are, that kind of does play a little bit into Texas' hand. And you're right, too. It's also the style of basketball he plays. He's so physical.
Yeah, that's my point. Yeah, I think he will be missed tonight. I think that this is still this team has enough bullets left, and we were talking. Was it Tuna that was talking about Trevon? He's got to play better. He's got more in the tank than what they're getting, and he can play better basketball, and this team needs him. And I'm sure that in the last 3 days, Cal's probably talked to him a little bit. They probably had some meetings. It's like this is your chance, and it's not just your chance to help the team; it's your chance to make it to the next level. You're not coveted right now. So what can you do? But I've watched him enough that I question his ability to guard. He cannot get in. He won't get in a stance, and people take 2 steps before he moves, and that can't get you a dime in the NBA. Not a dime.
Get over to Crabtree RV Center as they celebrate their 75th year in business as a family-owned business over the entire 75 years as well. They are right now presenting the Greater River Valley RV Show and extending their sale with lowest prices on all units. Financing available on all the top brands like Coachman and Grand Design. It's Crabtree RV Center. The Greater River Valley RV Show continues right now, right off the exits at either I-40 and I-49 right at the Cracker Barrel and online at crabtreerv.com. Quick break, back to wrap up hour number 2 after this.
This is halftime.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come get you some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
Join us for the legendary adventure Mystery at the Forest on Saturday, April 26th. Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center invites you to share this magical evening of excitement, mystery, and fun. If you are a business or individual looking to sponsor a heartfelt organization or to buy tickets, please visit our Facebook page for more information or call our office at 479-452-2260.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
If you live near Alex, Alma, Branch, Bloomer, Mountain Burg, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect Internet may be available to you right now. Wave is now serving a few non-member areas and adding more in the coming months. Check availability online. Sign up.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
To $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hall of Famer Clay Henry with us too. Guys, today 2 legendary icons were shown the door today in sports history. Tom Landry was fired by Jerry Jones today in '89, and Babe Ruth was released by the Yankees today in 1935. At that point, you couldn't imagine the Cowboys coached by anybody else, and you couldn't imagine anybody else in right field for the Yankees. But, things actually got a little bit better for both teams after those guys were shown the door.
Well, the championships continued to flow for the Cowboys. I guess they had to bottom out first. They were horrible the first year and a half under Jimmy Johnson, but then the Herschel Walker trade happened. Was that the most incredible trade? I mean, how many draft picks did they get for Herschel Walker?
I think it was 7. Was it 7 draft?
It was a bunch.
Choices?
Yeah. And the list of the guys that they used for that they're all pretty good. A bunch of they drafted well. It wasn't just that they got draft picks. You can have draft picks. That doesn't mean that you get the right guys and you don't build your team the right way. I mean, if you want to really have a book that explains a lot of junk, get Swagger. That's Jimmy Johnson's book. I think we talked about it on this show before.
You read that, right, Matt? You read that book?
Yeah, Tommy had it up here. I think the first year I worked here, I read it. That's a really good read, but it kind of elaborates on some stuff like that.
Yeah, and it explains Jimmy's version of the feud and how it really the breaking point was he made a move that helped him to the Super Bowl and didn't consult Jerry, because Jerry was at a luncheon at a meeting, and he found out that Tony Casillas was available from the Falcons and made the move and didn't consult Jerry. Now, Jerry liked it, but it was something that had to be done instantaneously, and so he didn't go through the owner / general manager. Brought in Tony and told him about it, and they're in camp. I think it's in early August, and so the next day at practice, Jimmy's out there coaching, and Jerry's on the sideline, and all the media's there, and he had like one of his little powwows and called everybody together. And he's like, "What do you guys think of my move that I made yesterday?" Claimed it.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Looking up at Landry. It's tied with Curly Lambeau for the second longest tenure with one team as a coach in the NFL. 29
Great
years,
man.
Lambeau.
Great
Lambeau
man.
was the Packers coach for 29 years, too. Third hour of halftime coming up. Calls and texts at 877-377-6963. And there's much more coming up in just a few minutes.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Cold man winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is already chipping away at 2025 with Joe's Chips and Salsa. Made with Tex-Mex house-made salsa. Made daily with fresh veggies, even carrots. Try their sizzling fajitas and crunchy tacos. Every Tuesday, it's Taco Tuesday. Joe's has great enchiladas with homemade sauce. It's the best around. Plus a full bar and TVs all around the restaurant. The best Tex-Mex and even better service at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, periods of sunshine early. We'll see some clouds building in north. Our high temperatures today, mid to upper 60s. A few isolated showers later on tonight. Overnight low, upper 30s north, mid 40s south. Sunshine, low to mid 60s on Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050.
KPRX Paris Fort Smith.
Expanding horizons.
ESPN 95.3.
They're on a mission. This team wants to make sure that we get to the end.
All of the Omahawks. Yes, sir.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Judge, take it to the house.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad we showed them at halftime.
What they even one race about?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
Is vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Turn it.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
.101 in the afternoon. You're listening to Halftime on ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson with Matt Jones. Christian Johnston Hall of Famer Clay Henry is with us up until the top of the hour, and then Ruskin and Zach will take over. Calls and texts at 877-377-6963. Well, late night of basketball, so many 8 o'clock tip-offs for the Hogs throughout the year, and tonight as well. ESPN 2, 7:30 airtime here on this station. Turn down the sound on the television and turn up Hit That Line, and your ESPN Arkansas affiliate to listen to Chuck and Zim give the call for hopefully a second win over a hated arch rival in the Texas Longhorns. Guys, we got a caller on hold. Let's go to the phones. We got Brent in Searcy here. Good afternoon, Brent. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, Phil, Matt, and Clay. How are you guys?
Great.
Super
thank
duper.
Hey, Phil, I want to tell you what a pleasure it was listening to you call that game yesterday. What a way to spend a Tuesday afternoon listening to Razorback baseball in beautiful weather. It was just
Thank you very much, Brent. I'll tell you what, I wish we would have had a doubleheader yesterday. It was simply that nice. It was a perfect day at the ballpark, and we're going to be blessed with great weather, I think, probably throughout, well, at least this next weekend against Charlotte, hopefully for the rest of the 9 games left on the homestand.
And I got a question for everybody. Clay, Phil, Matt. I got a feeling that this may be, that before it's all said and done, Dave Van Horn's best team here. What do you think?
Well, I guess that's going to be a matter of where it is that they finish, because that's what that's how we've always, I guess, judged what's been a successful year or not. I mean, I guess we kind of go into the season always expecting you're going to contend in the SEC, whatever division you play in. There's no divisions now, and that it'll be talented and they'll get the most out of their guys, and then we'll wait and see for a regional and hopefully a super regional and after that. But in terms of talent, I think it's the deepest pitching staff I've seen at Arkansas. I think it's the most talented pitching staff that I've seen at Arkansas. And offensively, I think there's going to be a lot there. I don't know if I'd just in my mind, I think of the 2019 lineup. It's a good group of hitters, but when you're looking at 18 and 19 with the dynamic bat of a Heston Kjerstad, and that's difficult to replicate. A second overall pick, a surefire first rounder, and I'm not sure if you got somebody like that at the moment. Maybe Vahiva could be, but Kjerstad just started hitting the moment he got on campus as a freshman. I mean, he stood out.
Yeah, you don't have a Kjerstad. You don't have a Benintendi. I don't think you have a Cox. I mean, those guys were dynamic. And, the run that Benintendi made was pretty incredible. I mean, he hit a bunch of home runs in about 5 weeks, and was a threat to – if you threw a strike, he was going to put it in play in a good way. So I don't see a guy like that. But I think there's some hidden gems that we don't see really on fire yet. I think Pepe and Maxwell are capable of a lot of damage, and I just think it's too early to know, Brent. And the key with baseball is how do your arms. How do you hold up? And do you have, they've got about 14, 15 guys that I think that they really believe can pitch in the SEC. But you need your top guys. In when you see a Gage Wood go down in the second weekend, that's that gives you reason for concern, because frontline pitching is different. And they've got a little depth there. I'm talking about with Battle Shees able to step in as a starter, and there's a couple of more that I think could that can possibly be starters. And I want to see a little more out of Christian Fouch. And they hit him pretty hard when he came in for his save, didn't they, Phil? I mean,
that is an interesting aspect of Fouch, because he probably has the best fastball. Well, he and Wiggins, the two of them together. But you don't generally see from Fouch as many swings and misses as you might expect, or just strikeouts. It's surprising for someone like him who has such great stuff. But in his career, you'd expect more strikeouts than innings pitched, but that's not the case.
Yeah, there were line drives that were right at people, 2 or 3 of them, and eventually those are going to find holes. And he cannot just throw a 98 fastball. And I mean. It's an electric fastball, but he's going to have to do some damage with that splitter, and I just didn't see enough of that in that outing. We're still trying to figure out what kind of defense are they going to play, and I think all right, but it's I just think it's too early to say this is going to be his best team, and because let's be honest. There have been some really good teams. To be his best team, the only thing left to do would be to win the championship, right?
I'd say Brentwood. You're right about that too. Brentwood. What stands out to me is depth of stuff on the pitching staff. And Clay's right. It all matters on being healthy and having staying power
May and June.
to the very end of the season. But as of now, I think it's best velocity, and not just velocity, but overall stuff. Defense, in the field, I think they're going to be above average. And we don't really even know what the lineup is going to look like because you're still battling for first base. I still think there's a battle for second base, right field in some cases. But I think there's a lot to like with this club.
Yeah, and I think that what I saw that gave me a little concern is that they didn't really know how to get Kuhio Aloy in the lineup consistently this weekend. They've got to do that, and I don't know. I'm not sure what the answer. Obviously, is Maxwell needs to play in the field, and his hamstring has been a bit of a question mark. And it not just now. Sitting with some TCU people, they said that was his, liability at TCU.
That was his problem for 3 years there. That's right.
Yeah.
It wasn't so that's a thing that I do worry about. If it's a thing that bothered him in January, well, it bothered him for 3 years in a row.
Bothered him for his career.
But there's always going to be an odd man out in this case. Maxwell is a guy that they brought in here to be an everyday player. I don't think they looked at Kuhio Aloy as that. I think he has surprised them with how much upside there is. Now, look, we're seeing him right now on. I think there could be eventually a bit of a roller coaster for him just because he is so new to hitting and there's no book out on him yet. And eventually the teams that we're going to be playing in the SEC will be studying video, and those are better pitching staffs and they're better coaches overall, honestly, and they're going to develop a plan that's different on how to pitch to him. And then we'll see if he can make any adjustments. But right now I think he's got to have a position. He played first base 4 games last year, and that was it. Otherwise, he DH'd at BYU, and they never put him back at first base after February because his last game there he made 2 errors. So I don't know how much first base is going to play. He doesn't know much about right field, so as of right now, he's a DH, and it's tough to learn a position on the fly. But he can hit. I think he can hit right-handers too, but he's going to eat up lefties, and he will start every game that a lefty starts, I think, as a DH.
What I liked, and this is always the question of, a young hitter. He did not chase the slider. I mean, he even put it in play some. And that's what his brother struggled with for about 6 weeks last year, and then finally figured that out, and certainly did in the summer. And he's gone the other way on the slider. You cannot pull the slider. You're just going to roll over, and it's going to – how many times have you heard Bubba Carpenter say that? You cannot pull the slider.
Unless it's hanging. And if it's
well,
hanging,
no, I mean a good one, a good slider. Yeah.
You're not going to pull a good slider. That's right.
Yeah, you're going to roll over on it, and it's going to be a weak grounder to the shortstop. He was a pitcher when he went to BYU. They didn't think he was going to hit, and then all at once he started lighting it up in batting practice. But he was a guy without a position because he'd just been a pitcher in DH in high school. But it's if you can hit like he has the last 4 games, you find a place. What does Dave say? You put yourself in the lineup. You make me fill you out in the lineup.
It takes a certain amount of athleticism too to just be able to, like Cam Kozel last Saturday. It was the first game in his life he'd ever played first. He'd never played first base before. They put him over there, and Dave, I think there's a difference between you say, well, Kuhio just looks like a natural hitter. They call Kozel a ball player. When you are called a ball player, that means you just have a natural ability.
That's a respectful term.
Or an understanding of how to play the other positions, how to run bases and all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure if I look at Kuhio like that. I do think he's a natural hitter. Kozel's a ball player, so you throw a guy like that at first base and say, you can figure this out on the fly, right? And he played first base like he was figuring out on the fly, but he also made some really good plays. He's quicker than Kuhio, I think, when it comes to those fast twitch muscles in the field and on the bases. But there's something about the way I think Kuhio, I don't know what it is about him. If it's Popeye forearms or just bat to ball skills, there's something about how he barrels it up. It sounds different, and I think he's only going to get better.
Yeah, I believe that's right. Who was it that made the play that took the home run away?
That was Davalon.
that's as good a play as I saw on the weekend. And, we talk about hitting and pitching or whatever, but you got to make plays like that to win in the SEC. And that was encouraging to me. But let's be honest. You got to be hot at the right time to go deep in the postseason. And it's about, who you play and are they hot? And so all the things about a regional, there's some luck involved. And I hate to say luck because it's good baseball. All the things falling in place. That's part of what Dave Van Horn does in the Magic, and we take that for granted sometimes. But they got North Carolina State at the wrong time. They got TCU at the wrong time. I hope that somebody gets Arkansas at the wrong time in May and June.
Oklahoma State got them at the wrong time, and so did North Carolina 3 years ago.
Just happens sometimes.
That's right. It's happening at Fort Smith next week, starting Thursday and lasting through Sunday, is the Great American Conference Basketball Championships at Fort Smith Southside. It's the best men's and women's teams in the GAC to battle it out for the Division II automatic bid. You get your tickets and more information for the Great American Conference Tournament at greatamericanconference.com. GAC Basketball Championships, Fort Smith Southside High School, March 6th through the 9th. Now stay with Halftime. Much more coming up after the break.
This is Halftime.
Word around the SEC, we're soft.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
One call cleans it all.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu. Only at Taco Bell.
Thanks for...
And let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Looking to upgrade your boat? Now's the time with Honda Marine Buyer's Choice Sales Event. Choose up to $2,000 in instant savings or a 36-month Honda Care Protection Plan. That's extra coverage worth up to $44.60 included at no extra cost. This offer applies to all new 40 to 350 horsepower Honda Marine outboards now through March 31st, 2025. Don't miss this limited time deal at Heartland Honda Power Sports Marine in Springdale. Save big or get extra peace of mind. The choice is yours. Visit Heartland Honda Power Sports Marine today. Exit 72 from I-49 just north of Cracker Barrel.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle. Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, 1.
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
I love the colorful clothes you wear and the way the sunlight plays upon her head. It's a gentle word on the wind that lifts her perfume through the air. I'm picking up her vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. I'm picking up her vibrations. She's giving me the
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hey, guys, the NFL Players Association put out their report card yesterday on all of the aspects of being a player in the NFL team by team. Looks like the Atlanta Falcons have gotten the best reviews in terms of just about everything. They will grade treatment of families, food, dining area, nutritionist, dietitian, the locker room, the training staff, the weight room, strength coaches, and then they still will go more with team travel, head coach, and ownership. And the Falcons got an A or a B in everything. Head coach, ownership got A+. You think Arthur Blank is
Arthur Blank, yeah,
and
they have the best deal. Didn't you hear they're gonna keep Kirk Cousins on the roster for like 30-something million? So backup quarterbacks, they're taking care of them too.
Yeah, a good owner.
There was an interesting report yesterday that maybe he was injured last year and didn't really speak on it. You know, in other words, just tried to play through it. That was interesting. I watched TGL golf a little bit last night. I mean, I don't know why I like that, but I do. Maybe it's because I get to hear the players. And Arthur Blank was in the first row because he's a big fan of Billy Horschel's. And Billy Horschel went over and talked to him. And, you know, you hear a lot of good things about Arthur Blank. So, maybe that's not a surprise. I don't guess I knew that the Falcons, did so many that kind of stuff right.
Ownerships that are rated highly by the Players Association. The new Washington Commanders ownership got an A. I will guarantee you Dan Snyder got nothing but an F or a D just about every year.
He was considered the devil.
The York family of the 49ers got an A-. The Saints ownership got an A. Vikings got an A+. So did the Dolphins ownership. Chargers got an A. Raiders, Tom Brady voting for himself potentially. Houston Texans, Green Bay, Denver, Chicago got an A. the Ravens, and the Falcons. And then it's interesting to see where some of the other ownerships that are quote-unquote legendary, the Steelers ownership got a D. That's the Rooney family.
What about the Cowboys?
Kraft with the Patriots got a D.
Seattle should be an A.
The Cowboys got a B. Jerry Jones was ranked a B by his own players. But then here's an interesting aspect of this, because the players are voting on head coach. So are they voting on Schottenheimer or are they voting on McCarthy? Because they gave head coach an A. Who do you think they voted on? Who did the players vote for? They voted for McCarthy. That's right. They gave the coach that the B ownership fired an A himself.
Yeah.
Who did you ask about, Matt? You asked about another ownership?
Well, if you win 36 regular season games in 3 years like McCarthy did, Seattle Seahawks have to be an A. That's one of those. You didn't say them in the A group, but I kept waiting on you to say. I wonder where Seattle is.
They got a C+ with ownership, but everything else they're highly rated on, except the training room. A's and B's and everything else except the training room. And then there's the Arizona Cardinals. Does anybody want to play for the Arizona Cardinals? They're basically Bluto Blutarski as a football team. They got a 0, 0, 0, and then puked on the chancellor's desk. D+. Well, I just hit something that changed things up here. Who was I looking at? I was looking at the Arizona Cardinals. Where'd you drop to? You click something on these lists, and they just reorder everything for you when you didn't really want them to do it. Well, they get an F in just about. They got a C or a D or an F in just about everything. Yeah, including the ownership got an F.
That's Arizona.
Yeah, D-. Sorry, that's about as good as you can get without failing. Their ownership got a D-.
2.5 state income tax though, so yeah, you wouldn't mind playing for them instead of a California team.
I'll bet you that the Players Association will then throw on another grade for state income tax too. That's what they're looking. I know they're looking at it.
Yeah, I found something interesting online today. And I'm a Frank Ragnow fan, if we're going to talk about NFL stuff. He did a video with Kevin Van Dam. Does any of y'all know who Kevin Van Dam is? I'm testing you.
He's an angler.
He's a pro bass angler. Yeah, one of the legends of their sport.
You mean he didn't star in a series of kickboxing movies in the 80s?
No, well, I don't think so.
Jean-Claude.
Oh, right.
Yeah, different guy. Yeah, different guy. Different legend. But he did a show with Ragnow, and of course Ragnow's loves to fish. He's an angler, and the video. I mean, it's going to be on the Outdoor Channel. I don't know when, but the teaser, he spoke about Frank Ragnow in the most glowing terms. And of course, I mean, I'm biased. I think a lot of Frank, and I sent Frank a text today. Congratulate on getting on. I mean, he'd rather go to the Super Bowl, but to fish with Kevin, KVD is what they call him. And he's, if you want to fish KVD's lures, you can go just about any sporting goods stores and get those bass lures. But congratulations to Frank for being on TV with KVD.
KDB is Kevin De Bruyne also. He's the Belgium 007.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so, well, yeah, it's.
I'm stuck over here thinking about Bloodsport now. Sorry.
Talking to my good ear.
I mean, I did grow up watching the Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. Even Sudden Death, the hockey movie where he played. I forget what he played in that.
You're a martial arts guy then, huh?
Well, sure. Yeah, I'm very good at kicking air. Yeah, but no, we didn't watch the Jean-Claude Van Damme movies for any of the kickboxing or any of the martial arts. It was his dance moves. No, I'm serious. There's a scene in the movie Bloodsport where he's been drinking a little bit. And he goes over to the jukebox and he plays a song, and the next thing you know, he's dancing in the middle of the floor, and you're like, wow, Jean-Claude with the overbite, go for it.
He's athletic. I mean, it's like, once you got it, you got it. I mean, it's like, I do the grapevine dance, and everybody gets off the dance floor. I mean, they're going to give me room.
Well,
dead silence to that.
They better give you some room. Be a Texas two. No, it won't be a Texas two-step because I know how much you dislike Texas.
I dance like Elaine Bennis, so nobody asked me to dance.
I'm not a line dancer. Yeah, I'm not a line dancer.
It just means you need people around you that are wearing football helmets, man.
I'm a karate guy. I like to kick it.
Yeah, you'll stick a thumb in somebody's eye if you dance like Elaine.
Swing those.
All
arms.
he's got is the dice throw.
Yeah.
That is your favorite move. I've seen you with the dance, the dice throw more than a few times.
Yeah, I got to throw my last NFL factoid out there. I did a column interview with Jeremiah Washburn, who's he's the edge rush coach for the Eagles. So that's online at Whole Hog Sports. But he was voted at the Combine by the other defensive line coaches in the NFL as the top defensive line coach. You know, there's a name for the award, but he wins the award, voted by his peers, which that's as good as it gets when your peers vote you is the top guy. So congratulations to Jeremiah.
877-377-6963 to get with us on Halftime anytime you want. Well, at least over the next 30 minutes or so, because we're down to just 2 segments left. You might be craving something sweet and delicious since it's so gorgeous outside. Andy's Frozen Custard has you covered with the greatest frozen treats around. Anytime you're looking to cool or satisfy your sweet tooth, ask about the triple chocolate concrete. Chocolate frozen custard blended with chocolate chip cookie dough and melted chocolate chips. I'm drooling just thinking about it. It's Andy's Frozen Custard. They're in Conway, East Oak Street, Dave Ward Drive. They're in Fort Smith on Rogers Avenue and in North Little Rock on JFK Boulevard. Andy's Frozen Custard, walk-up or drive-through, ready to serve you. And we're ready to take your calls and texts at 877-377-6963. Stay with us. Back after this.
This is Halftime.
Something amazing is happening. Despite a citywide blackout, this company is still up and running. That's because CDW deployed and managed a cost-effective Eaton Tripp-Lite Series Smart Pro UPS to safeguard equipment easily and reliably. Keep the power on and protect your IT equipment from electrical challenges. Tripp-Lite by Eaton and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/triplite.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
You're listening to Halftime live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals are just people. They've got their lives and families same as you and me. But what happens when big hospitals and insurance companies ask too much of them and make them work too many hours? Without enough help, you can only stretch something so far before it breaks and people get hurt or even die. That's where I come in. If the healthcare system in our area has hurt you or someone you love, call me. Together, let's make them do healthcare better. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
Hey, Todd Richardson for Jim. They have several locations in the Arkansas area, but I specifically want to talk to you about Jim Mart number 10. Great deli. My goodness. Great lunch, great dinner. But have you had the breakfast yet? It's the best in town. And they have that convenient drive-through window. So when you're heading north or south on 540, take exit number 6 for Jim Mart number 10. 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith. Jim, the leading gas station and convenience store in the area.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Looking for the best way to save big this winter? WT Equipment has you covered with exclusive winter savings on Workmaster and Boomer compact tractors from New Holland. Choose your deal. 0% financing for 72 months or get a free loader with your tractor purchase. These powerful, fuel-efficient tractors are built for hard work and year-round reliability. And now, they come with unbeatable savings. Hurry in to WT Equipment before March 31st to lock in your deal. Visit us today or call 479-442-8284 for details.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Giddy up, giddy up. Giddy up. Giddy up. Wanna move into a fool's gold room. Women pose full of animal jewels. All the rules that you choose to give to get loose. With the luminous moves. Boy, did these Simmons, let me get it. Wow.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Thanks to the texter out of the 870 that reminded me that the Jean-Claude dancing scene that I was referring to came from the movie Kickboxer, which it's difficult to remember the differences between Kickboxer and Bloodsport because it was basically the same thing. Like, I think Bloodsport was when he participated in that kind of black market tournament called the Kumite. Was that right? And I don't remember what Kickboxer was about because it was all about the dance scene. I watched the scene a moment ago. I couldn't stop laughing for about 30 seconds there. It's hilarious. Hilarious in a way that I don't know if it was meant to be. But then again, those movies were all just sort of like a wink anyway. A lot of slow motion of guys falling.
They're in the Steven Seagal category.
Yes. Yeah, it felt like Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal could have eventually battled it out on the large screen.
I got him confused. I apologize.
What was the movie where Jean-Claude had the ears? Where it was like a war movie, like he's military, and whenever they would exterminate somebody, he'd cut their ears off and put it on a necklace and wear it around his neck.
I missed that one. Or was that from Predator? Where it might have been Jesse Ventura. Was it Ventura that did that in the movie Predator? I don't remember. So you kind of forget all these movies from the 80s and some of the weirdly weird, gory details sometimes. That's right. Jean-Claude Van Damme played Frank Dukes in
Universal
Bloodsport.
Soldier was the movie I was thinking of.
Okay. There you go. Well, you might as well. It's just notch on the belt, ear on your necklace. Same thing, I guess. 877-377-6963 to get with us here in halftime. Eric has given us a call. Good afternoon, Eric. What's up?
Hey, basketball question for you guys.
Shoot.
I know that the Razorbacks have a really good team right now, and the coach is new. Do you think at the end of the season all those guys are just going to stay? Because I'm sick and tired of watching these Hogs go through players like freaking underwear. And, having a good team and then losing good players, and the unit cohesion is just shot to hell.
It's a good question, and we've hit on this a few times over the last couple of weeks just in terms of who do you think stays. Now, out of the guys that still have eligibility, here's how I view Cal. There's a loyalty aspect, I think, with him and his players, and you can see that throughout all the guys that are returning to watch him even at practice who didn't play for him at Arkansas. There's that relationship that I think still matters to Cal, and I hope it still matters to the players. It seems that it did because the recruits that were supposed to be Kentucky freshmen would have been Kentucky freshmen this year are Arkansas freshmen for the most part. And he brought over a couple of the better players too. So my hope is that means that guys like Knox, Richmond, if Boogie decides he's got to come back, which I think maybe he might need to look at, that he comes back here. Same with Z. But I do think you got a core of a team here that looks like it could really do something, if you build around it. And I hope, maybe I should just, Eric, view it as more of like hope that they'll be loyal to Cal, because I see him viewing his players the same way.
Yeah, let's be honest. It's all about the gold. I mean, it's about the coins. And the good news is that Arkansas has more coins than anybody else. And to get a raise, these players are going to have to be lottery picks. And you can say, well, you go in the second round and you're quicker to your next contract and that kind of stuff. But, there's some of these guys that, making, $500,000 to $750,000 by staying in school is different than it was 3-4 years ago. So, looking back and seeing that, one and dones were kind of his history, that might not be the case going forward. But I will say that I think that he understands, and I've heard him talk often enough, that finding older players is the game now. And, it's I was interested to hear Dave Van Horn talk about how old the Michigan baseball team was.
Oh, yeah. They were like 7 Division I Trent.
So, they've got some NIL money at Michigan for baseball. And that's a good Michigan bunch as far as, talent and experience. But I think that there's a chance that some of these guys are coming back. And, I don't know about DJ Wagner. I mean, he'd be a junior. I don't think he's a lottery pick. I think he is. He has had a chance to show that he is a point guard, and there's some value to what he's done in the last month for the NBA, his NBA prospects. But I think there's some of these guys that are coming back now. Dero is what's happened to him in the last week, and his history with his back injury will give some concern to NBA teams. Can he play 82 games? I don't know that he can. Those back injuries, that's kind of a devilish sort of injury that just stays with you.
I remember looking at the Michigan baseball team too, Clay. They had, I think it was 7 Division I transfers that either had played 3 or 4, or in one case, a kid had played 5 years at the previous school. I called him the king of San Jose because he played high school in San Jose, then played 5 years at San Jose State.
Yeah.
And has his last year with Michigan. You're right. They did put a lot of money in.
He finally decided, I'm going to see the world.
But the thing with the Arkansas basketball team is that there isn't another team in the country that I know of, maybe Indiana, I guess, that has more money invested into NIL for men's basketball than Arkansas. So if you want to keep these guys, I think you should be able to keep them. And I know that we're talking about being, looking for older in the transfer portal, but the core of the team will still be young-ish if Boogie comes back, right? And you're able to keep Knox and Richmond. That's 3 sophomores that I'd assume will be in your starting 5. Watkins and I'm forgetting the name of the other, Sealy. These 2 kids are coming in as freshmen. I'm assuming they're good enough that they're going to come in to play some.
Acuff.
That's 5. That's Acuff. That's right. That's 5 guys right there. 5 guys that are either freshmen or sophomores that you will invest money in and will probably get some playing time. So
yeah,
I think next year's team will probably be a little younger than we might expect.
I'm interested to see the Sealy. I'd like to go watch a game and high school game with him. And I know that Acuff is he's the plum apparently. So and that's the thing. He's a they're bringing in a 1 and a 2. Where does that leave Fland? I mean, I suspect that Fland's gone. That's my opinion. I think he showed enough that people realize that, and I'm talking about when I say people, the NBA guys, that his ceiling is way up here. That you don't just judge him on what he did this year. It's what he can do the next level. I mean, the game that he had in Madison Square Garden, man, that made him a bunch of money.
Well, I wondered if maybe like the game what was the game where there's been a couple games for Z where you're like, well, he's flashing a lot of the things that scouts would want to see.
Yeah, I think
if
gone.
They're looking at you at the next level
Yep.
too. So
Yeah.
maybe Z is going. I think he may end up being the highest drafted guy.
7-2
or Thero.
Yeah, 7-2 and the 3-point shot that he's got. And I think he's just touched the tip of the iceberg what he can be. I mean, I think his upside is really good. So yeah, that's a guy that I'm not sure you can get back.
Okay, so and again, it's just projections, of course. Let's say that Boogie's gone, Z's gone. That would be a guy that is a junior this year, and one that's a freshman this year. You still have a pretty young core, but I agree. When you're looking in the portal, you're going to be looking for probably older players,
some
who have
fourth-year
produced
guys
where
yes.
they are. It's just you got older guys that produced where they were previously, and it's been a slow build to get them back. You just got to make sure. Well, it's like Matt has asked about this too. The Adu thing. It felt like, did he show up on campus with this ankle injury?
Yes, he did. Yes,
we gotta make sure that when you sign somebody or whatever, it's like the Lakers just rescinded a trade because Trey Williams didn't pass a physical. I don't know if you got to pass a physical before you actually sign the papers to become a part of a team for somebody. But don't bring somebody in that's going to be hurt when he shows up.
Yeah, I think that was just bad luck, and obviously Nelly got hurt after he was here, so that's bad luck. The key thing that Cal has learned is don't stop at 9. I mean, you're not going to be saddled with a 9-man roster going forward. I think he's not going to do that. Maybe players 6, 7, 8, 9 don't get as much money so that you can also get 10, 11, 12, 13, so you can have a full roster that can play.
Did Cal I'm pretty sure I heard this on the coach's show Monday, had referred to some of the bad luck that they've been dealing with, and he did refer to a player falling out of a golf cart. Let's keep the players off the golf carts. He did say this. I'm not like breaking news about this. He said this on the coach's show.
Golf carts.
Let's keep your stars off golf carts on football weekends next year, too.
Yeah, I've heard coaches, it's like, okay, what kind of rules can you put into the NIL contract? All right, no bobsledding, no skiing, no no line dancing. It's like there's some things that, but I mean,
just stay inside. Stay inside your apartment. We're going to pad every room in your apartment.
Exactly.
We'll bring your food to you. Maybe
we're going to put you in a bubble.
That's right. We're going to rebuild your bath and everything, so you have a door to walk through, so you don't have to try to step over the tub. Just make sure everything you do.
The shower has skids.
That's exactly right. We're going to make sure that whomever it is that signs with Arkansas out of the transfer portal for basketball next year doesn't just not show up hurt, but they never get hurt. They're only allowed to leave their apartment for games and practice. That's it. And we know they're going to do virtual classes anyway.
That's why Houston did not want Matt Jones playing basketball. Did not want him to play.
I'm thankful Coach Nutt, the little bit of the thing he said, because that was part of my recruitment, but it was, if you can contribute, you can play. But
I'm just joking. Yeah, but that does make them uncomfortable. It's like I can't remember who it was that maybe Todd Butler was talking about recruiting a baseball pitcher, and he said, he wants to play quarterback too. He can't do that. I mean, it's just, there's too much invested in you to go play football where they're going to tackle you. So, the flip side of that is, that they want you specialized and they want you safe. And,
hey, Clay, I know you wanted to bring up a very special Razorback fan passed away yesterday. Somebody that you heard her on the football coach's radio show ever since it started. She would lead the hog call at the Catfish Hole. Marty Cornell passed away.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been a few weeks. It's unfortunately, we found her. I say, family found her, in her house, passed away. So she had died for a while back. But she was special to the Hogs Illustrated message board. She was our chief admin and moderator. I mean, for 30 years, she wrote the rules for our forum. She wrote script. She did programming, and she was a retired programmer at Phillips Petroleum. And I met her at a tailgate, and she said, "You need this, you need that." And I was like, "Oh, somebody's about to ask me for a job." And she goes, "I will do it free." And she did. And sweetest lady, she would be 75 next week, and was a dog trainer, had champion German short-haired pointers. And, I mean, they won it at the AKC at Westminster. So she's a special person and really loved by, really thousands that were on our forums and message boards through the years. She could ban you, and her judgment was unquestioned, and it seemed like she was always online too. Huge baseball fan, sat about 10 rows up right behind home plate. If it was 35 degrees, you had your windows closed, but she was out there, Phil. I promise you, she was there. Traveled, loved baseball, bought a home just on the other side of the soup factory, east of Baum, so she could be there. She was always at the tailgates, at the barbecue bunch that was out there. I promise you, baseball fans behind home plate knew Marty, and she was heaven sent to Hogs Illustrated. That's all I'll say.
We appreciate you bringing it up. Stay with Halftime. We'll be back to wrap the show up right after this.
This is Halftime.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Hey everyone, Braden Webb here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. You may remember me from my days playing baseball for the Hogs. Now I'm hitting home runs for AAA Business Systems and enhancing the ways company do business in our area. If you want to partner with the best office technology provider in Northwest Arkansas, call me today at 479-442-4185. Let's win together, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Get ready for an unforgettable experience with Arkansas Razorback Gymnastics. Watch the Gymbacks, led by Coach Jordan Weaver, take on the fiercest competition in one of the most exciting arenas in college sports, historic Bud Walton Arena. It's a high-flying, gravity-defying action you don't want to miss. Bring the whole family for a night of fun and entertainment with tickets starting at just $5. Grab your tickets today at ArkansasRazorbacks.com or call 1-800-982-HOGS. Don't miss out on the thrill of Razorback Gymnastics.
It's the Salesman Showdown at Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal. Never seen a sale like this. Troy, you're pulling out all the stops, and so are your salespeople this month.
Yes, definitely. Tommy, I've been telling everybody we are taking deals from now until the end of the month that we've never taken before. These sales guys, they're competing. They're doing everything that they can to earn your business. It is the Salesman Showdown. I mean, heck, first place gets a vacation and a gift card. We're giving away 75-inch TV, a big tool set. I mean, they really are. They are doing everything that they can to earn your business. So come down here and see us. One of the big things we're doing right now, maximize your tax return. We are going to be matching your down payment up to $1,500. So if you've got, let's say you just got $500, that turns into $1,000. $1,000's $2, and $1,500 turns into $3. So come and see us.
All right, it's the Salesman Showdown. We're going to be telling you more. Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal, and online at harryrobinson.com.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace. Or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cave, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
That's good stuff today, guys. As we wrap up halftime here on this Wednesday, game day at Bud Walton Arena, the Razorbacks in Texas with a 7:30 airtime and an 8:02 tip. Matt, what are we going to see tonight? What do you think what do they got to do to get a win?
You know this team's going to fight hard. The thing is, don't let the emotions get to you. Players have to step up, but that doesn't mean you have to be somebody you're not. And that's what we're talking about with Brazil. And I think this is the Billy Richmond game, just on the fact that if he can give you 31 minutes, you might have a chance.
Well, I like Knox too, but I mean, that's correct.
Well, Knox has been. What I'm saying is Knox has been giving us 30.
You're getting that, yeah.
Adu's been doing, not Adu, but Nelly Davis has been doing that in Wagner. So those 3 guys, in my opinion, they're going to have to play 36 plus minutes tonight. So who else is going to be? I think Billy Richmond's a guy that could get to that. Big Z is a guy that could play 28 plus minutes.
They've got to guard Johnson, the Texas guard, without fouling. Keep him off the line, and I mean it's a double-edged sword. You keep him off the line, plus you don't get one of your guards in foul trouble, because we can't be in foul trouble in this game. Just can't. You don't have the depth. I'm sorry, my lab has got her squeaky toy.
I'm enjoying listening to the background there. It's like it's accentuating all your points.
Yeah. So here's what happens at our house when Jean Ann's gone, and then she comes home. Millie goes and gets one of her toys and squeaks it, and it's like, okay, I'm so happy I'm bringing you one of my toys, and that's what's going on.
I feel like I need to get a duck call at some point for the next time this happens.
Yeah, she's running around with a bunny that has a squeaky in it, and I mean she's so happy that Jean Ann's home. Yeah, I mean you got to love dogs. I mean they're so loyal. This one, I was gone for 4 days for the Arlington trip, because I went over on Thursday and spent the night with Sarah, and then we left. And I got home late Sunday night. Monday and Tuesday, she would not leave my side. She was just beside herself that I was afraid I was gonna leave again.
Well, never again. I was gone for 11 days. My kids seem to miss me a little bit, so they've been kind of hanging on my neck for a couple days. And
what about the cats?
The cats never leave my side, even if they're around me. I got to be quiet here for a moment. We're just got to let the toy talk.
She's in another room, but I mean she can make that thing squeak and make it sing. Yeah.
BE's got 35 dogs at home. Well, call in, BE, instead of just the text. Let's hear these things. Great stuff today. Remember, 6:30 airtime, 7:30 airtime, 8 o'clock tip.
Here's Matt.
Good to hear everybody's voice today here on Halftime. Eastside Liquor Halftime podcast coming out shortly. We'll do this again tomorrow for Thursday show with Brett Dolan, with Dudley Dawson, with Bubba Carpenter. And stay tuned for Ruskin and Zach. Great stuff today. For Clay Henry, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston, I'm Phil. Thanks for tuning in. That's halftime. Now get up, get out, and get better.
Harry Robinson, Salisal Ford. Wants to buy or trade